You need to hear this one. Do you know that in a place where people gather to mourn the departed, some persons among them nurse separate ambition towards the properties of the deceased? Their aim is to lay hands on the properties of the deceased person, and they will stop at nothing to achieve that aim, even if it involves making the immediate beneficiaries and family members to sorrow and weep the more. Without an intent to sound insensitive and harsh, permit me to acknowledge this fact that death happens to people in different ways. Some people may nurse an ailment or medical condition for a while before death happens, which could give them the opportunity to do the last-minute planning, while to some others, it may come suddenly from slight headaches or from sleep. In a situation where a person passes on suddenly without any estate plan, that is, no will, no trust, such a person, without saying too much, has left some problems for his or her beneficiaries or family members. Now, what are the likely problems of not planning your estate? Number one, the beneficiaries will have to deal with numerous uncertainties in the gathering and distribution of the estate. For example, culture and diverse individual interests, in which case no one can simply tell what to expect. If the family will not live in peace and harmony, then that is the beginning of the chaos and losses to the estate of the deceased person, because there was no plan or guide in place. Number two, beneficiaries must face the hurdle of obtaining letters of administration. Where a person passes on without any estate plan, will, or trust in place, the beneficiaries must obtain this document from the probate registry, which may take up to 2 years. Number three, beneficiaries cannot easily access funds in the deceased person's bank or investment account. Do you know that without obtaining letters of administration from the court, the beneficiaries cannot have access to the funds in the deceased person's bank or investment account? The big question is, how would the beneficiaries survive if obtaining this document will take this long? Well, you should consider setting up a trust to avoid this kind of situation for your beneficiaries. In actual fact, obtaining letters of administration has frustrated many beneficiaries and subjected them to begging to survive in the midst of plenty. Number four, beneficiaries also experience tough situations with some financial institutions even after obtaining letters of administration due to the cumbersome processes involved in gathering the estate. Number five, beneficiaries usually suffer severe hardship due to lack of estate planning, from lack of shelter, clothing, education, to lack of food. Number six, beneficiaries of a deceased person who fail to plan his estate, I mean the immediate family members, are usually troubled and dispossessed of their properties by extended family members. Number seven, some properties and monies of the deceased could get missing because there was no documentation of what the deceased owned. A will or a trust would have helped to avoid this. Number eight, loss of revenue to the estate or family. You see, other companies and businesses where the deceased invested in may be unable to locate the true beneficiaries of the deceased. This brings about possible non-payment of accumulated dividend or return on investment. The truth is, no one knows the hour or time it will happen, and no one really wants to be thinking of that. But let us all remember that death is the inevitable that must happen to all. For all that it's worth, please endeavor to plan and put the right structure in place to secure your family. Remember that an unplanned estate is a potential chaos being nurtured by you today. I am the estate planning attorney.